I love this. The founding pastor of a mega church in Singapore has been convicted of fraud after a judge concluded he had used $36 million in donations to fund his wonderful wife's pop star career. What do you think, Margaret? Get this. Pastor Kong Hee of the Evangelical City Harvest Church, there he is with his wonderful wife. Her name is Ho Young Sun. They're both church leaders. She also goes by Geisha. That's her pop name. Anyway, she maintains her innocence. She's not in any trouble because she's just doing her thing.
Right.
He's the one stealing the money from these donations. Now, she says she was forced into a world whose values were poles apart from those of the church. So, apparently, the whole project here, the whole project here is to spread the gospel. This whole secular pop music thing that they're doing.
Giving their tithe, their money that he's stealing to fund her music career.
But the music career is in order to spread the love of Jesus. So we have a video, and let me show you how she spreads the love of Jesus. Here it goes. Here's her song, China Wine. China wine, 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 China wine. Thank you, Jesus. Look, Margaret.
Oh my.
You can't steal $36 million from a bunch of churchgoers without people noticing. So what they did was they called it the Crossover Project, and apparently it's to broaden the church's appeal and evangelize using secular pop music. Now, are you spreading the love of Jesus by like bumping and grinding in your underwear next to Wyclef Jean?
Well,
why'd you do that, Wyclef Jean? Why do you have to be associated with this? You too, Elephant Man. I used to love you guys. What's up?
Doesn't this remind you, so in the U.S., especially in the 1980s, we had Jim and Tammy Faye Baker, Jimmy Swaggart. We had all of these televangelists that were coming out taking a lot of money from people. Jimmy Swaggart, in particular, had to resign. His famous crying he sent, wailing on national TV because he was with a few hookers. And he's fine. He's still running his ministry. Perhaps they can just apologize for stealing the first 17 or 17 and a half, then spending 18 trying to cover it up.
Well, it was 36 for the pop star career alone.
Got it.
You reminded me. He also found him guilty of embezzling $17 million. That was stuff that was related, that was supposed to be for building more churches and stuff. They don't know where the hell that went. And then he spent another $18.5 million to try to cover that up. So that, plus the $17 million, plus the $36 million is just ridiculous. Now I have a quote here from the Geisha of pop herself. Here's what she says. People in the church world were upset with me, asking, how could a pastor's wife do this? And people in the entertainment world were suspicious of me. Many times I asked God how long more I had to do it.
Oh.
Why, God?
Why?
Is God making her do this?
I think so.
I don't know. I mean, first off, it's ridiculous that these people come together with what looks like a cult. I mean, we have a picture. I mean, that stadium is ginormous. It is packed. That's why I call it a mega church. It looks like a Taylor Swift concert, not a church, but it's just unbelievable that these people give so much money in the first place to these cults, but then they trust these people like Kong Hee. What is Kong Hee doing?
They think they're doing a good thing by giving money, giving to a church that gives back to a society. People are basically good, and they don't realize that they're being conned. I feel for these people. That's too bad. He should get on television and apologize, just like Swaggart did in the 80s.
I'm sorry. I don't feel bad for them. I think they're irresponsible for giving their money to these church leaders, just assuming that they're going to do something great with it. I mean, the fact that they're so self-centered that they stand up in front of these stadiums of people who worship them, you can't trust someone like that.
Do we know what Singapore's going to do with them? And I remember a case where someone spit a piece of gum out and they were flogged. I mean, this seems pretty serious for Singapore.
Singapore does not take these things lightly. Like you said, littering, chewing gum, those things are all illegal. So I can only imagine what's going to happen. We don't know. They haven't ruled yet, but we're going to see what his sentence is. We'll keep you updated on Pastor Kong Hee, man of God, and his wonderful geisha of pop wife. Let us know in the comments below. What do you guys think about this embezzlement and him taking $36 million in donations to fund his wonderful wife's pop star career? Let us know in the comments below, and if you haven't already, subscribe to LIV TV for more.